text back giving me his, I guess his real name. Hi Dawnies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, I ask you to please subscribe because you're helping this disabled by watching my fables so I don't have to beg you. Also, if you feel so inclined, I have a Cash App. Check the description below if you feel like donating to this channel. That would be nice. Anyway, I am going to follow up regarding the last video with the what's wrong with y'all about why I won't be giving out my number anymore. So let's see. As some of you may know, I just started my YouTube channel back in late October 2017, and I was so gung-ho. I was passing out flyers and like, subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my channel, you know, just gung-ho. Well, one day I was coming home from a doctor's appointment. Yeah, I don't know if I ever told you guys that I seem to go to the doctor's office almost every day. Anyway, I was coming back from the doctor's office. I was on the bus. This guy from the back of the bus comes all the way from the back of the bus and plops down beside me and starts chopping it up with me. And I'm like, why did you come all the way from the back of the bus to sit to talk to me? He looked about maybe 20. He claimed he was 50. And then I asked him how old he was. I asked him his birthday, which that was red flag number one because he had the same exact birthday as my ex-boyfriend, and I don't think that's the right page I'm going to turn on. So he claims he's about 50. He looked about 20. He was about this big. I don't know how we were supposed to relate, but anyway. So like I said, I was so gung-ho passing out my flyers. I gave him a flyer, and then he called me either that evening or later on the following day. So when we were conversing, I was asking him where was he going because I forgot to say when we were on the bus, he said he lived in Buckhead. I guess I was supposed to impress me. Buckhead doesn't impress me. It's not Beverly Hills. It reminds me of El Segundo. Anyway, and so I was like, well, what were you doing all the way in Clayton County? Because there's not much going on in Clayton County. And he was saying he was meeting his business partner. I forget. This is Atlanta. Everybody has a business, some form or fashion. Everybody's an entrepreneur. I forgot about that. So we conversed some more on the phone, and I didn't get any real conversation from him. He seemed kind of slimy. It was like I would talk about certain things. Like at the time, I was telling him how our church is building a new campus in an area closer to where I live, so we wouldn't have to travel so far. And his response was like, oh yeah, that's a really good idea. But I couldn't get any information from him. Oh, I forgot to say, this time he told me his name was Marcus. So Marcus and I didn't converse any further until sometime in about 2018, I get a text and it's like, good morning, how are you? And I'm like, who is this? But I didn't say it like that. Was like, good morning, may I ask who this is? And he's like, oh, it's Billy. And I'm like, I don't know a Billy. Where did we meet, Billy? And he's saying, oh, we met on the train. I am going to have the text messages right here. I'm just going by memory. Just follow the text messages. Anyway, he was saying that where we had originally met, and I'm thinking the only person I met at that location that I gave my number to was Marcus. So who's Billy? So I told Billy call me later on in the day because I wanted to hear the voice. I'm like, I don't know who Billy is. Now, if you've been following along with the text messages, you can see what I mean by he just seems slimy. He's just like more like he was gathering information from me but wouldn't give information. I can't pinpoint it, but you know how you just get that vibe. It was just something about him that it just wasn't right. Plus, today his name is Billy when his name was Marcus. And let me tell you how I know it was Marcus. So when he called me later on that afternoon, when I heard his accent, I don't remember if it was and you guys please don't get offended, but it was either a Caribbean or African accent. But anyway, it was the same accent and the vernacular and cadence in his voice that I'm like, why did he tell me his name was Billy? I thought his name was Marcus, so now he can't even remember his lies. So once I realized it was him, I quickly got off the phone because this conversation wasn't going anywhere. I was like, no, I'm not talking to this dude. So that was the end of Billy until about this year, April 2019. So we got 2017, 2018, 2019. I guess you're just bored and scrolling through your phone and like, oh yeah, let me call this one and see if they don't have any life. Anyway, I didn't know it was him at the time because I was getting calls from unknown numbers. I had finally got medical and I was setting up all these appointments, so they were calling me back. And so I answered the phone thinking it was one of the doctor's offices calling me back. And I heard the voice and I'm like, oh my goodness. I was like, well, who's calling, please? Well, now his name is Ronnie. I'm like, well, I know Michael and I know Brian, but I don't know Ronnie. Now, mind you, I just remember the name started with the M and a B. I forgot about Marcus and Billy. So I was just like Michael and Brian. You know, that's all I needed to remember. And he's like, oh, well, I've been out of the country. I've been to the UAE. Do you know what the UAE is? And in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, so you've been in Dubai doing a little something strange for a little piece of change. Is that what you've been doing? Is that how you make your money? Just wondering. Not really. And I was like, yes, I know what the United Arab Emirates is. And he was like, yeah, and I've been out of town and da-da-da-da-da, whatever. And I'm on the bus trying to get home. And he's saying, basically saying, well, where are you? I want to take you out. Do you like soul food? And I was like, no, not really. I'd rather have some African or Middle Eastern food. And I really do like African or Middle Eastern food. And, you know, you've been in that country, so that's where you should take me, right? But no, he just totally ignored what I said. And he was like, well, do you like Red Lobsters? Their cheddar bay biscuits are amazing. Oh. So we're not going to get this Middle Eastern or African or Caribbean food, huh? We just going to go to Red Lobster. But since I don't know who you are, I'm not getting off the bus to meet up with you, just go somewhere. I don't know you. Anyway, he's still trying to convince me to meet up somewhere. And I was like, no, I'd rather communicate with you some more over the phone so I can get to know you. You know, I don't want to just go out with somebody and I haven't talk to them. I don't know, you can beat the range. Anyway, then he goes, okay, well, okay. So I was telling him a certain time to call me, but he bypassed that. He was like, well, can I call you later on tonight? I'm like, no, call me tomorrow. Do you have a webcam? Well, what you need to know if I have a webcam for? What you trying to do with the webcam? I'm not talking to you on the webcam if we can talk on the phone. This ain't catfish. You seen me in person. You said you met me on the bus at the train station, so you know what I look like, so no. What you need a webcam for? So I think you guys are starting to see why I felt the sliminess from him. I can't pinpoint it. He just, you can feel a vibe. He's just slimy. Anyway, he did call the following day, but I was running my mouth with my roommates and I didn't catch the call. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm over this Marcus, Billy, Ronnie person. So I basically texted him back, not kindly, that, you know, I'm really not interested. So please don't text or call me anymore. He texts back, giving me his, I guess his real name. I don't know what that was supposed to do. I'm done. You've lied 4 times. What am I supposed to do with a liar? I'm not talking to you. I'm over this. So I didn't even respond to that last text. Now, since I mentioned catfish earlier, I did try to look up his phone number and his name. I couldn't. His name is so common you can't narrow it down. But his number led to some business that didn't have any real description, and I'm going to post it right here so you can see that there's nothing going on with this dude. I don't know what his plan is. I don't know why he's picking up strange women on the bus. I don't know why he thought I didn't have a life and I'm just waiting for him to call every 6 months. What's wrong with you? So the next day, since I didn't respond to the last text, then he texts back the next day saying, well, I know you said that you're not interested and you don't want me to call or text you, but can you tell me why you're not interested? I didn't even respond because I can tell the ploy is to get me to continue to communicate. Once I say I'm done, I'm done. So you're just rude. First, I told you what I wanted to eat, but you decided that's not what I'm going to eat. Then 2, I tell you don't contact me anymore, and you decide to contact me anyway. So from my past relationships, that just reminds me of a slight case of controlling an abusive person, and I'm not going for it. So that's the end of, what was his name again? Whatever his name is. Anyway, Dawnies, remember to toast to life. Please check out my other content on the channel. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Bye.